He wasn't very personable there for a bit. Where are ya? It's not his fault. I wasn't around a lot when he was a puppy because of the show season, which isn't our norm. When I had Ty, he went to all of the shows with us. He did everything with us. So, it really sucked. But Milo gets sick fast, easy. All right, car sit. Sorry, buddy. You're kind of in a danger zone. It's a little colder. I think it's because I just opened everything up. And its windows are open. I guess that's not going to help. Now, I usually pile it all up in the middle and I move it around. Raina is not that aggressive in her stall, so I'm not going to do that to her. Oh, thank you. So instead, I'm going to be spreading his out a little bit all over. The dog's going to have to move. Am I? He's getting absolutely covered in shit anyways. Does my hat fit in the truck? Yeah. don't see how it wouldn't. Hello. This is Ray Ray's stall. Rayna is a 8-year-old Clyde mare who's open this year. I didn't have a video of palpating her. Found her ovaries. However, I do need to screw the adjustments on my ultrasound to see what it will take to make it like more clear, a little sharper image. Believe it's adding frequency or lowering the frequency of the waves. So that will be fun to figure the fuck out, right? I'm gonna have the sniffles no matter what. When it gets this cold, that's what you do. You're breathing in that air. Because believe it or not, I'm sweating my ass off. Whew, good morning. Let's get that hay. I forget that I might need to bring the Rottweiler in soon. He does not have the coat of the Shiloh Shepherd to be able to be out in the cold. And he's been going through surgery, so he's not able to be that active. Yow, that was my funny bone. Wasn't too funny, honey. Holy Toledo, that didn't feel good. Okay. Yeah, definitely hit that like button. The follow button doesn't hurt either. Jesus Christ. I didn't even know that was possible to make your elbow hurt that much. Chores are such a hazard. very clean as its stall last night. Some of them are a lot better than others about maintaining a clean stall. All I gotta do is get 2 more done, and then I'm gonna turn in the little horses. Then I'll have 1 more stall to clean, and then I'm gonna work Tilly, who we've been needing to work on that hind leg, lifting, moving. This isn't great weather to have to do it in, but fun story. Physical therapy shouldn't end just because of some weather. Definitely not the glamorous part, the fun part of owning 11 horses. I'm very excited that I'll be down to 9 horses on this property soon. Although one of those points is going to be a lot more work, that I'll be moving a horse down the road instead of in my backyard. But it's for her own sake, my sake, and time to get riding her. Been my riding horse for the year, but I'm very excited that I will be back on a real light-ish horse. I'm gonna be training Lady, who's gonna be a lot. She's a thoroughbred cross with a Clydesdale, but she was definitely never the calmest Clyde. Her father was never the calmest Clyde either, so it's not gonna be just whoop-de-doo. Whoop-de-doo. Now the running around I can hear has kind of slowed down outside, and I can't wait to see if it is due to the fact that they're all in the manure pit, or if they smartened up and they are spaced out, or if they're just eating hay now. But I'm still gonna let the littles, the lights, whatever you want to call them, in the barn to get some time out of the weather. I think they need that. It's got to be a good balance of two. There are places for them to lay down outside. I should have blankies on them. Maybe that would make them a little happier. But I don't like playing the blanket game. It's definitely not going to be because they're cold. But instead, keeping them dry. It's more important. Thank you. I love this hat. This one's Silver Fox. I am in Vermont. Just need to get one more of these stalls cleaned, and then we'll be playing around with all the horses, getting them situated. It doesn't hurt little horses. It don't hurt any horse to be outside. I am going to find their blankets, though, because that will be a good way to keep them dry. I am afraid of that's the only thing I dislike is I don't want them to get wet. Wet horses get cold. Otherwise than that, they are all set to hang out outside. I do think that they like coming in for a bit, have some time inside. Sorry about that. Once they can get in, play around, they'll probably make a boatload of noises coming in. The reason why is because they have a tendency to roll and run amok. So. I'm not sure how Celsius works, but I'm positive that's not true. I personally love cleaning the barn. It is a little difficult being like an everyday task. It takes approximately 2.5 hours, but I certainly don't hate cleaning the stalls. Heyo. Can't hate cleaning stalls and having horses. You just want to be lazy. Okay. Let's go on to the next stall. I'm gonna grab a different wheelbarrow. Speaking of being lazy. So that way I don't have to rearrange what I'm doing. They're all gonna be outside bugging me. Hey, Milo, leave him alone. It's probably cold now, too. Not been my Roddy's best year. He just went through surgery, and I actually have to message a woman about whether or not she'd be up for lasering him, because he really needs some loving, get some healthy, quick healing. Hey. Milo, don't touch him. How's everybody's day going? I need to get this window closed. Oh, that one's closing way easier. The other one did not want to close for shit. Kind of sucked. Oh, where to start? I guess I was starting in the best spot. The women's riding Wranglers, I think, are probably actually the best. They have a nice band on top that stays up while you're... Although, these are not a bad pair either. I think I have 2 pairs of these. They're pretty awesome. Although currently really rocking the 7s. Those are high on my list right now. Or Kimes. Lady, leave it alone. You can hear that thoroughbred cross of mine whacking the bucket. So... Gotta have a base layer. That's a nice name for it. Multiple layers. Always dress in layers when it gets cold out. Like I did start in a sweatshirt and a vest. However, also maintain your body temperature. Do not let yourself overheat and start sweating, because then when you stop moving, that's when you're gonna get real fucking cold. So I have a pretty strict rule about not letting myself sweat it out. It just makes it so you get cold later. It's kind of like don't take too hot of a shower, else it's really hard to get out of the shower. It's cold. So don't let your body temperature get too high, because then you're going to not want to get out about it. So. Also, very wicking materials. Cotton's not wicking. It's very absorbent. So don't wear a lot of cotton. Like you'll notice my silk scarf and the silk in the top of this hat, wicking. Doesn't maintain, doesn't hold on to your sweat. I am from Vermont where it's snowing. I don't know if anybody else is getting some, but I'm getting like 4 inches. Which of course was enough to make you late for work, but not enough to keep you home. I could not imagine mucking into a smaller wheelbarrow, as this already takes almost a whole one when they're being gross. Ugh. And Ellie was gross. More than that, she was being very misorganized. A good clean horse, I swear I would pay extra for, just because it makes it so you waste a lot less time cleaning their stall and you waste a lot less bedding. Versus this one who decided to stomp through everything. You're having to sort through everything and throw out perfectly good bedding. So, she is not being pleasant to clean up after. This hat is Silver Fox. And does anybody want to guess what my boots are? Give you a minute to guess in the comments. I'll come check it out. Any idea what the boots are? Beaver? Nope. They're buffalo boots. Buffalo hide. I don't have a lot of beaver yet, although I've heard nothing but good things about that. And it being very obviously waterproof. Although it's like maintained by their saliva. It's like land in their ass. I don't know. I'm not. But these boots are super fluffy. They keep your feet so warm. That's the number one. I mean, obviously, it is the number one reason I like to wear fur. It is ridiculously warm. The other reason I like to wear it is because it's pretty. Another reason, it's biodegradable, but quality that lasts years longer than plastic synthetic materials. Synthetic, faux, that just means plastic. You're just buying plastic. Plastic's not warm. It's not healthy for the environment. Try to find me a synthetic coat that's older than 10 years that's actually going to keep you warm. Obviously, there's some really cute vintage ski jackets that were hardly worn, maybe by your aunt who liked to come up only to ski. But in general, you're not going to have any synthetics that last very long. However, your vintage fur coats, your vintage fur hats, those last forever. So. There are times, obviously, it's not waterproof. That's not helpful. 2 seconds. I am going to get cooled off enough because I'm going to have to be walking around instead of just being in the barn. So I am going to have to put back on my sweatshirt, but that's because I'm going to cool off naturally. However, like I said, you want, when you start getting cold, layer up. When you start getting hot, layer down. Lots and lots and lots and lots of layers. Quality layers at that. Not grab synthetic plastic and wonder why you're freezing still. Except for bibs, which I don't think are plastic. A pair of bibs will get you far in life. I don't think it's bib season yet. It's only 28. Maybe not even. Okay. Gotta get hay in that other one. Vermont! More Vermonters! Yay! Let's get this hay. And then I'm gonna go get the light horses and bring them in. So they can get a break. I know there are people out there who leave horses out 24/7. Awesome. Most of mine, or 4 of mine have been. I don't love it. They like an even balance, in and out, in and out. We got to go back and forth on that. So. All right. Whew. I don't have alpaca. But I also don't have a coat in this barn, so I'm gonna go get it on in the other barn. And then this group of Nimrods are gonna go in. I think I have to pull out a sled for her horse to drag so she gets a workout. You guys are gonna have a jump scare for a bit. Underneath a hat always looks really matted down. Okay. Okay. Let's turn in those little Nimrods. Oh, another coat. Layer, layer, layer. I think I have to bring Kaiser inside. I'll be right back. Let's go. Easy, easy. Sorry about that. He had to go inside. He was freezing his ass off. So, let's turn in the crazy crew now. So, this crew has been outside for several days straight in a row, and I think they're getting sick of it. So, I'm gonna bring them in so that way they can enjoy warming up, rolling, laying down, etc., etc. And I'm gonna have to clean up a lot, but first, I gotta get this out. Just go in a clean one. That's all I ask. And of course, one of them didn't. Okay. I just need them in long enough that they can dry off, warm up, and I can get blankets on them. Or blankets on a couple of them, not all of them, but yeah, like 6 inches. Hi. Hi, you're in the one stall that's still dirty. Okay, you're in the one stall that's still dirty and has no hay. Not enough hay. Go. Out. Hey. There you go. And down the first one goes. I say that it's critical that you have horses that get to come in and out, or at least have the option at some point. I should have gotten blankets on them a little bit sooner, so I'll end up having to dig through and find their blankets, so that way they wouldn't have their wet backs. They're all completely fine. They're just horses being horses. They can actually elevate their hair, so that way their skin isn't what's getting wet, and that's the only part that really matters. If their skin gets wet, they'll get cold. But if they can elevate that and not get wet, then you're all set. So I hope that specifies that you guys don't think I'm abusing them, but I certainly like to give them a balance of in and out, in and out. Whew. So this one's raccoon. It's my newest, and I am obsessed with it, but my God, those little bastards are hotter than they are cute. Okay. A good time. I was gonna leave them out, but honestly, that just makes it so they're cold and wet. So it's gonna get piled up over here. Built a snowman and the second horse is down. So let's see if we can't spy on that. Nope, not down yet. Just groaning. Just the first one's groaning. This stall's the least dirty. It got cleaned last night because it needed more bedding. But I'm gonna get through this one. Then I really need to work Tilly, and I've got just the way to do so. I also need to find blankets to put on everyone. Put on a few of them at least. I'm not usually a major blanket advocate because I just don't believe in them. I believe you're raising the hazard while lowering their natural ability to regulate their temperature. And as everyone knows, I love dressing in layers so that way I can regulate my temp. So I think it's silly. However, a couple of them, there's some really good reasons to need it. And one of them is wet. If they start getting wet, if they're not able to get inside, which mine are all currently on a trade-off. The half of them are out and half of them aren't. So. Okay, they're both down now. So I don't know how long exactly it will take, but I'm hoping we'll leave them in until they can dry off. Work Tilly. Get back in the groove of things. This is my perfect little gelding stall. I only own one gelding, which is a neutered male, because I prefer being on a breeding farm. So I prefer being where everything wants to get pregnant or get something pregnant. However, that's not really like the natural, doesn't always work out that way. So you might as well have one that's not trying to get everything pregnant and that you can enjoy. When they're this organized, it's like stupid easy to clean the stalls. I do not keep buffaloes, I just keep them on my feet. pretty sure it keeps freezing. One of them's too short to actually see unless I look. Oh, that one's still up. It's just my third Red Cross. It's pneumonia of a storm. Yes, lots of snow. Okay. Okay, time to stuff this nut. One of the most important things to do all winter is to make sure that your horses are intaking enough water. The best way to do that is, one, add a little bit of salt to their grain. Don't just give them a salt lick. That would have to require them actually licking it. They don't have an abrasive enough tongue to actually consume salt licks. Not to say that some of them won't get really through them, but those are really designed for bovine. So take table salt, iodized salt. You can also get selenium salt or any other sort of supplements topper that is high in sodium, and sprinkle it on top of their feed. That will encourage them to drink more. If they are not in the mood for salt, they will actually avoid, their muzzles can definitely sort through that, and they won't take in as much salt. The other way is obviously make sure that you can actually supply the water to make up for the amount of salt that you're feeding. Do not salt them if you are not going to be actively double checking, reassuring every single day that they have a good, fresh supply of clean water. In their buckets, you got to make sure that the bottom of the buckets stay clean. So while we're feeding alfalfa, or if they dribble grain into it, some of them do what I call make shit tea, where they poop in it and it's shitty. Got to make sure that the edges are clean, that everything else is. You can do so grabbing a brush, scraping around, and putting the drool in each one. However, these are bulky, kind of aggressive, and you have to remember to bring them stall to stall. One thing I've always considered easy that I was taught by an old trainer of mine is to simply grab a scuffle of hay. Something that's been on the ground, maybe isn't that, not top premium alfalfa, and rub it around. It really gets into the grits corner. It's essentially natural steel wool. Really pulls out the grind in the corners, up the sides, all around. If you've got a stall, you've got hay, you can always use that one. And then make sure to empty all of that gross dribble out after. Winter's here. It takes a long time. It's an easy season for horses to stop drinking. Make sure at least at one point in the day they have access to clean, fresh water. If it can be warmed up, the better. Horses are proven that they prefer to drink warmer water. So I hope that little tip and trick helps you guys keep your horses well hydrated throughout winter. And good luck staying warm out there. Let's get this one out of the way. A little bit of Burke. A baby. Lot of fluffy, fluffy, fluffy. I don't even know if you guys are there anymore. Ironically, I'm actually gonna scrape the rest of this. Lady, please don't be so fucking dramatic. JK. Now she's rolled. Where'd my gloves go?